están todos? Bienvenidos a la clase de español. Welcome to class today. I'm glad that you could join me. My name is Miss Jen, and welcome to today's lesson. Okay, welcome back to video number 2. Today we are going to be talking about the pronunciation of all the letters in the alphabet, in the Spanish alphabet. Yesterday we talked about the vowels. Today we're going to do the consonants. So we start out with the letter B. In in Spanish, it says B. Pretty much just like in English, but it's not quite like B. It's gonna be a softer. A lot of these consonants are just very soft, very soft. They more accent the vowels than they do the consonants. So B is gonna say B. Okay. C has 2 sounds. C like k, like cat. All right? Now, if your C is followed by an I or an E, I always like to, in English, the little I before E except after C. It's not the same thing, but it at least lets you remember, oh, I's and E's make the C say S. Okay? So we have the hard, the K, and we have the S. If it's a C-I, it becomes C, kind of like this word cita, okay? Cita would be C-I-T-A, cita. And then C-E is going to be se, like centavo, all right? Otherwise, it's like cat. Camisa is a word that starts with C. Now, they do put CH as one of their consonants. And it just says ch, just like in English, ch. So that's nice, like chocolate. Then we have the D, and the D says D. Now it's again like the B where you're not gonna go D. You're just gonna say it really soft, like D, like donde. And then we have F. F says, just like in English, f. So like futuro. So F says f. Now our G is just like our C. It has 2 sounds. Has the hard sound, G, just like in English. And then if it's followed by an E or an I, it makes the H sound. Okay, so if it said G-E, here's a word on our thing if you're following along in the book. It's G-E-N-I-O, which says genio. So it would be like hen. Pretend that was an H. And then the I is going to say he, like gitano. So it's going to say g, or it's going to say like genio and gigante. Okay, that's H. That's G, excuse me. H makes no sound. So you have all these words and you get an H in it, it's just silent, pretend like it's not there. Kind of nice, just forget it. And then over here on the last of this one is J. And the J, I'm going to put it here so you can remember. The J always says the H sound. Okay, so down here. It's going to say, so like my name is spelled J-E-N. In Spanish, it would say hen. Okay, so that's J. Let's go through these all again really quick. The first row, we got B, K, C, Se, Ch, D, F, G, He, He, no sound, and okay, so that's our first row of that. Now, if you want to keep practicing that, go ahead and pause the video now, and then we will go to the next row. All right, so you ready for the next row? All right, so now we're on to our second row. K says K, just like in English. I got it underlined here for you so that you know, oh, underline means say it just like we do in English, okay? So K says K. L says L, just like in English. Now they've got a fun little new letter, double L, and it's going to say yeah, like beyond, okay, beyond, yeah. Okay, now our M says just like in English. And we come over here to the N. N says just like in English. And with the little squiggly line above it, there's another new letter for you. That's called the tilde. And that's going to say nya, like onion, nya. Or canyon. Now our P, I did not put an underline under the P because, again, like kind of like our B's and our D's, the P says P, but it does not say P like popcorn. It's really, really soft. It's kind of a nice little soft. It's like without that puff of air. So just P. But basically, it's the same. Now Q, again like in English, Q is never alone. Same thing in Spanish. Q is always followed by a UE or a UI. So if it says Q, UE, it says K. Just like the English letter K. QUI says key. All right? And the R says R. Just, it's really, this one's probably one of the toughest letters in there because the R kind of sounds like the double D in ladder, and your tongue is going to kind of flap. So say ladder with me, ladder. You see how your tongue kind of hits the top of the roof of your mouth and then comes down? That's kind of what that is. So it's not really an R like in English, it's like a D, ladder. Okay? And that one comes with practice. All right, let's review our second row. We've got K, U, Y, N, Nya, P, K or key, and R. That was a tough one again. D. It kind of sounds like a D, but not quite like a D. You'll get practice with that one, I promise. All right. Now onto our third row, we've got the double R. Now this is where you get that really, really fun little tongue twirl thing. If you can do it. When I learned Spanish, that one took me a long time. So I'm going to go ahead and give you the trick right now on how to roll your R's. Say these three words. Pot of tea. Really fast for lots and lots of time. Pot of tea, pot of tea, pot of tea, pot of tea, pot of tea. It will loosen up your tongue and you'll be able to roll your R's. Maybe not like woo, but it'll help you get that going. So it says R. Okay? Our S says S, just like in English. Our T says T. Forgot to underline that one. Again, just not quite as explosive. All the letters kind of just soften them. So T instead of like Tom, just T. Okay? V says, this one is the controversial letter. I have heard people say the B and the V and the B make the same sound of B. And then I've heard people say, no, it really does make the V sound. It's really, you can take the B, the V sound, the V. It'll never be like V, like we do where it really, really gets going in the mouth. It'll be really, really soft, almost like the B. And if you can kind of join the letters together, if that even makes any kind of sense, make it like that. So it's going to be more like verde instead of verde, verde. Make it really nice and soft. All right, so then our W, in Spanish, they'll call it a doble vu, because we have our U, doble vu. So it really doesn't exist in the Spanish alphabet, but they use it because they use words like Hawaii, where it's like an English word that has the W in it. So then they'll say it as a W, but it really doesn't exist, except for English words. And then our X says X, just like in English. And then our Y makes the same sound as our double L. So I'll link these two up now with circles. Okay. And the Y says yeah, like beyond. And our Z always, it never says Z. That sound does not exist. Makes it sound like an S. So your Z is going to say S, just like an S. The S sound. Okay? So let's review those. Line number 3. We've got the double R that says R. The S says S. And we got T. But almost the V sound. And then again, the W only exists in English words like Hawaii, which they would say Hawaii, because the H would be silent. And then you got X. Then you got Ya, and you have S. So that is all of our letters. Sounds, watch those over and over and over again. Practice and practice and practice them. Get them in your head, because then when you put words together, it will make them really, really easy to pronounce. Thank you for joining today's lesson. Adios!